Hello, it is Super Orange Cat, and I've got Toonami's ratings from this July 13th, 2019. Let's start at the top of the block. Dragon Ball Super pulls in a .32 this week, and following that, you have Attack on Titan up to a .23. Then you have Sword Art Online Alicization halfway finale at a .20. Lupin the Third Part 5 ends the Marco Polo mini arc at a .18. Food Wars second episode pulls in a .18 as well. Then you have Black Clover at a .19 this week. Boruto at a .19 this week. His Dad at a .15. Gundam at a .14. My Hero Academia at a .14. And the greatest anime in human history, Jumaseto Machu Picchu at a .10. In short, this was a much better week for the block ratings-wise. We've had this weird period for the last few weeks where Dragon Ball would struggle to get over a .20, and everything else would struggle to even hit a .1. And this is not the case this week. Every show here rebounded to some degree, with the smallest rebound being, well, Machu Picchu .03 up, but for actual Toonami shows, it was, let me see here, actually My Hero Academia only going up 0.05 of a point. And that's one thing to note here. My Hero Academia actually is tied for the lowest rating on the block with Gundam. This is interesting considering how My Hero Academia got a .11 this week, and that being actually the fourth, I believe, highest show of the 10 shows on the block, which is interesting because it does so well at such a poor slot, which raises a lot of questions to why it was moved that far down in the first place. But this week it seems to perform more like a show at 3:30, being tied dead last with the show right before it. And one more commendation I like to give is Black Clover went up to a .19, beating both Lupin the Third, beating Food Wars, two shows that Lupin the Third and Food Wars, I mean, many people thought probably shouldn't have been picked up, but because they thought, well, it's not going to pull in the ratings, especially Food Wars being just so much different from the usual fare on Toonami. And that really gives more fire to that argument with Black Clover, which, in my opinion, is about as shonen can get, beating them with a .19 this week. And that's a trend Black Clover has done a lot of this year. It has often, I think more often than not, outrated the show before it, which leads many people who still think that, many people to believe that Black Clover should be moved up in the block. And hey, we'll probably get a new schedule today or tomorrow, because at least Toonami Squad earlier today says that they're working on it. So let's see if that working on it means we'll get it soon, or if we get it Friday, right, the day before or something like that. But yeah, maybe Black Clover does move up in this new schedule. A lot of question marks still with that. Gundam, who we know is moving up 2 hours, did a .14, which you could say, well, it's tied with My Hero Academia for the worst of the week. But at the same time, getting a .14 that late at night isn't exactly bad at all. It did better than what Hunter x Hunter did at 3 a.m. most of the time. Hunter x Hunter, if I recall correctly, got a lot of .11s, .12s, some .13s at that slot. So it looks like Gundam actually built on that, which is something to take note of. Maybe Gundam is being underrated in terms of what it could do on the block. And other notes like Dragon Ball Super, the block does well when Dragon Ball Super does well. Ultimately, I haven't seen a night ever where Dragon Ball Super does poorly, but the rest of the block picks up the slack. And it's the same here. Dragon Ball finally back over the .3 hump. It's been about, I think, 4 weeks in a row where it didn't get there. And I do not know what the actual ratings for the Family Guy preceding it are, but I'd imagine it did better than the .21 it did last week. Yeah, Family Guy had horrible ratings last week, which actually Dragon Ball Super last week when it got the .25 built on Family Guy and still was only a .25. Let's see, that'll be an interesting thing to see if Family Guy or the very early part of Adult Swim's lineup on Saturday night actually outperform what it usually does, which would probably give you a strong indicator of why Dragon Ball Super did that well, since Dragon Ball Super is very much dependent on having the early part of the night rate pretty well. And I guess later when Programming Insider actually releases their ratings, this rating as you can get from here. This is based on Showbuzz Daily's website. We'll get more insight towards that. But really not that much else to say this week other than Sword Online ends well, I guess. 0.20, nice round number. For most of its run, it had done upper teens, like 0.16 and 0.19 seemed to be generally where it was. After the first couple weeks, it was like 0.29, and it was like 0.29, then 0.19, 0.29, 0.19, and then it kind of settled in the lower part of that range. And it's interesting to see with these ratings, and it's interesting to see what Toonami's new schedule is going to be. Hopefully, we get that today. Not so sure we will, but I will post a video when that does get up. So, really, what do you guys think about these ratings? Do you enjoy this more or less a return to form for Toonami? Leave your comments down below. What do you think the schedule is going to be? What do you think the new schedule should be for Toonami going forward? Appreciate your guys' support. If you want this content, if you want more Toonami news content like this, please subscribe and please hit that notification button. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.